Racism is sick, man. Racism back then was about economics. Racism now, thanks to white people reclassifying the definition, it's about bigotry, hate, or just when you say something negative about another racial group. That's not racism. That's what the truth is about. Sometimes the truth doesn't sound all the way positive, but it's the truth. Just like when a rape accuses the rapist of raping. Is that negative? No, that's the truth. And when they put a criminal in jail, they need the truth to put a criminal in jail, no matter how it sounds, how bad or how just uncomfortable it sounds. And that's just how racism is. Black people are the beneficiaries of racism. We are the most people on earth who have known racism. And for some of these black people today that ignore racism, that's what you call cooning. They ignore it like it doesn't exist, or they try to rationalize racism. That's cooning. Racism then, back in the day, it started out as a competition for wealth and resources. From the Asians to the Arab, they was all fighting for one thing. Not gold, not religion. They was all fighting for black folks. Whoever could get their hands on black folks knew that they was going to be the top nation on earth. Why do you think it took other civilizations like Rome, Greece, Australia, and China? It took them thousands of years to become world dynasty, but it only took America, this country we live in today, only 300 years or less than that. Because they had black people here. They had people that they could exploit to the best of their ability. They had people that taught them how to build boats. See, the more people don't even know this. The white people in Europe had no type of organization until the mixed skin Moors, who was mixed with African, what they would call Asiatic people, but we call them Africans today. They were mixed with Africans, they were mixed with Arabs. They were Moor people, just like the Moroccans of the day. They got that little tan in their skin. Well, you can technically call them black folk, because they were mixed. But anyway, the Moors taught them crackers that the earth was round and not flat. The Moors also taught them crackers that it was another place besides the Eastern Hemisphere. It was a Western Hemisphere, a whole nother continent that they had been living in thousands of years before the Native Americans even stepped on there. The Moors was the indigenous people of the New World, what they called the New World, America, South America, and Canada, before the Asians even came over there. And white folks started calling them Native American because they thought that they were the first. They were not the first. They were not the first. And everybody has to get this right. That the Native Americans and their gamblers, they get reparations for things that they didn't even earn. They were the biggest slaveholders. They were the biggest killers of black people back during slavery. They used to go out and catch black people. They were slave hunters because they knew the terrains of the land. Racism then was all about a competition between groups. It was a competition between the Arabs, the Chinese, to get wealth, resources, like gold, water, land. And black people put white people over the top of everybody. It put them over the competition because over with a little bit of gunpowder, they could make us work for free and scare us. We helped build this country. But along with us helping build this country, we never got the credit. We helped fight every war. But along with that, we was always called the most unpatriotic, the most scared like. And also, black people, racism still exists today. It still exists today. It's more prevalent today. The only reason why racism ceased, or racism is not that in your face bigotry and hatred, is because of Malcolm X. They started calling black people stand up for themselves and decide to fight against and try to be men. They started calling them racists and supremacists, and they started calling them thugs and gangsters just because they wouldn't take brute that was brutalizing them. So nowadays, people don't recognize racism. It's institutionalized. It's in the courtrooms. Racism is everything. People try to call it bias. It's racism. If they see that you black, you're going to get the harsher penalty. That's just how it is, man. Racism is here today. See how they murdered Trayvon, and you see how that they didn't need common sense. I mean, I ain't even gonna say common sense. You just see how the white judicial system and their jurisdiction just let Zimmerman go. It was okay for him to murder Trayvon. That was the fruit from what OJ did a couple years ago. White folks never got off of from that OJ thing. Now they can rest because they took a life from, like, see, that's what the white folks believe. They believe in a tooth for a tooth, but they claim this whole Christian thing. They want black people to forget, but they never forgot about OJ. And how OJ was not guilty. The investigators that went to his house planted evidence on him. Unlike George Zimmerman, who shot Trayvon, who was in the wrong jurisdiction to do it, but he still got off. You know why? Because that's what white people wanted to send a message. We already got a black president. They wanted to send a message to it. That's why we got to get out of this country. Racism still exists now, and it might even, it's worse because black people only own 1/2 or 1% of this nation's wealth. It might even be less than that.